I never imagined that the man I loved, the one who promised me forever, would be standing at the altar with my sister. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was when he passed me, looked straight into my eyes and whispered, "I love you." This was supposed to be you. My heart didn't just break. It shattered into a million pieces. Right there while I was holding her bouquet, standing beside my sister in emerald bridesmaid silk. Let me tell you everything from the beginning. My name is Camila. I was never the pretty sister. That was always Alejandra, my younger, shinier counterpart. I was the thoughtful one, the helper, the quiet dreamer who designed weddings for a living. And that's how I met Marco. He walked into my studio one late afternoon, looking completely out of place in his crisp Italian suit and arrogant smirk. He wanted help planning a charity gala. I didn't like him at first. He was too rich, too sure of himself. But slowly his edges softened. He started bringing me coffee, asking about my sketches, staying late just to hear about my dreams. He said I made him feel real. For 6 months we were inseparable. We laughed, we kissed under string lights, and he told me he was falling in love. He never mentioned Alejandra. Not once. Until one weekend when he vanished. 3 weeks. No calls. No messages. Nothing. And when he finally reappeared, he wasn't alone. Alejandra returned home unexpectedly from Spain, and with her a surprise. Her fiancé Marco. I thought it was a sick joke. My heart couldn't process it. She was glowing, flashing the diamond ring he had picked out. She said they met in Madrid, that it was love at first sight, that she couldn't wait to introduce him to the family. I stayed silent. Marco. He just looked at me with guilt in his eyes and said, "We should talk." But I didn't want to talk. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to erase every moment we had ever shared. But I didn't. Because I'm Camila, the helper, the good girl. So I smiled. And when Alejandra asked me to design their wedding, I said yes. I poured every ounce of pain into that wedding. Every flower was a memory. Every fabric a stitch in my broken heart. There were nights I would stay late in the studio alone, sketching bridal gowns through tears. People thought I was dedicated. I was just hiding. Marco tried to speak to me once, when Alejandra went dress shopping. "Camila, I made a mistake," he said. "I thought I was protecting you." From what? From my world. From being second in it. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You made me second anyway." He didn't speak to me again after that. The day of the wedding came. It was beautiful. Every detail perfect. Just like I had planned. Alejandra looked radiant in lace and pearls. My mother cried. The guests whispered about how lucky Marco was. And I stood beside her in emerald green, holding her bouquet, heart numb. He passed me and whispered, "This was supposed to be you." I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I just looked at him and smiled. Because what he didn't know was that I had already left him in the past. And he wasn't the only one with secrets. What I hadn't told anyone was that 2 weeks before the wedding I met someone else. His name was Samuel. He was a florist. Quiet, kind, nothing flashy. He helped me with a last-minute order when my vendor canceled. We worked late together and I found myself laughing again. Genuinely. He didn't ask questions. He just listened. I didn't tell him about Marco. Not at first. But Samuel didn't care about my past. He only cared about who I was when I smiled. That smile returned more often after meeting him. After the ceremony, I slipped a note into Alejandra's hand. It said, "He was mine first." She found me minutes later. Her face pale, her hands shaking. "Is it true? Ask him." And I walked away. They didn't make it to the honeymoon. 2 weeks later, Alejandra moved out. And Marco? He tried to reach out. Again and again. But I blocked every number, every email. Because I had learned something important. If a man can betray once, he can betray again. And me? I deserved more than recycled love. Now I build weddings for other women, stronger women. Women who know their worth. Samuel still brings me fresh roses every Friday. He never rushed me, never pressed me. But one day he held my hand and said, "I'll wait as long as it takes." That was the day I realized I wasn't just healing, I was falling. Now I don't cry when I hear vows. I smile, because I know that one day mine will be real. And it won't come from a whisper at the altar. It'll come from a man who never looked away to begin with.